guys? Thank you for tuning in to Club Rich. We talk about everything pop culture. It's your girl Ashley Janae, and then you have my unofficial co-host. How many times I'm gonna say that? But Mickey Jordan on the line. How's it going, Mick?
I'm in here. I'm in here. I'm in here.
Man, this week has been ridiculous. We actually have not covered in this episode everything that there is to cover. We're gonna save that for the weekend. We might pop back in and do some, some more little investigating work or whatever.
We're gonna
But
still do your Sunday nightcap, right?
Sunday nightcap, so we might cover an event or so, and then throw in some more popular subjects because there's been a lot going on. Like this week has been crazy, Mickey. It's technically Friday, but yeah, yeah.
Right, right.
It's been a crazy week, so everybody get your drinks together, chime in the chat what you're sipping on, what you got planned for the weekend. Child, I have absolutely no clue. I know Mickey kind of suggested I go to the Roadhouse. Shout out to Dink Sosa. So that might be a deal. Might be a deal. Go get
Understandable.
that catfish. But as Mickey gets up my new little segment that I created, um, what you guys got going on for the weekend? Like I said, it might be a either. Oh, shout out to Ray Tyler. I might pop into the Wind Down Friday Wind Down where they do the band nights, including Black Rose Band. Shout out to them. So they do like live music and all that kind of stuff. It's definitely a vibe. It's for grown folks. So if you went to the rowdy club scene, do not go because that's not what it's for. It's a real wind down, chill. Get you some drinks, some cocktails, listen to the music, get you a nice little buzz, and go home and go chill. That's
Mm.
that whole situation is for. So Mickey, go ahead and throw up my girl. What's tea? What's tea? What's tea? So what we got going on for what's tea?
Hold on one second. Let me help you out. Let me get this thing situated.
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Let me get this thing situated. You know
Y'all,
how
y'all
we do
a
it.
little light. I like it. It's cute. Last week we done got in the dark, child. I had to go get me something cute to accentuate the background action. But anyways, you guys, I gotta move this ring light because it is in the way. We got our first topic of the night. Child, within the last 48 hours. Actually, you guys, I screenshotted this and sent this to Mickey. Um, well, no, I didn't send it to him, but I screenshotted it like 2 days ago. So literally within the last 48 hours, it's been a major lead in the case of the rapper Tupac Shakur, his murder. Anybody that's not familiar, he was killed in September of 1996, which is 26 years ago, you guys. The case has been quote unquote unsolved as far as on paperwork. For anybody that's close to the family and all that kind of stuff, really everybody kind of knows, the details and what actually happened. But for some odd reason over the years, we as the public have never been given a solid resolution to this story. So, anyways, the other day, it was speculation on the news. I seen it on NBC, TMZ, like anybody that you could think of, all the gossip websites that are home in Henderson, Nevada, which is not too far away from Las Vegas, which was where the incident occurred, where he was shot. Um, a house was raided, and they were stating that it was related to his murder. So at first, it was just that they didn't want to give out too many details. I guess they didn't want to spoil anything just yet. But you guys, within the last 24 hours, we were actually given information that the house was raided, belonged to an individual by the name of Keith Davis, which he goes by the name of Keefy D. He's actually the uncle of the young man named Orlando Anderson, who was the supposed shooter of Tupac, and he was actually the young man that was videotaped being beat up by Suge Knight and Tupac and a whole bunch of other people that was related to Death Row. Um, on the night that Tupac was shot. So, uh, from what I was told, allegedly some computers were taken, some hard drives that might have had some information. It's crazy. He actually kept track of articles, magazine articles over the years that contained information about the case. So he was actually keeping his eyes and ears to the streets all these years. And, you know, anybody that pays attention to any of the gossip websites and YouTube, this Keefe D character has been making his rounds on Vlad TV, Art of Dialogue, and I don't think he's been on Bomb First. Maybe he has. I can't remember. But just
No,
look,
him. I don't know if he been on Bomb First. Not to cut you off.
he has it. Okay. He's just been making his rounds within the last 5 years. I know they said he made his debut 5 years ago, talking about the story and him actually being involved in the murder. 5 years ago, BET actually did a Death Row Chronicles docu series or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
just talking about, you know, everything related to Death Row up to the point that Tupac was killed, and just a little bit afterwards, just the aftermath behind that. So he's been talking. Um, but the thing that messed it up for him over the years, he was offered what is called a proffer agreement. From my understanding, it basically means if you go to a police station and you're either recorded, tape recorded, whatever, and you give the police whatever information they are requesting, depending on how detailed you are, you can be immune to being charged for whatever crime that they're trying to get the information from you for. So he actually did this in 2009.
Mm.
Um, for some odd reason, he thought that over the years it was a great idea to continue to talk about this story and go to particular news outlets and actually give them more details than he was giving the police. So that's kind of where he put his foot in his mouth at, was just doing a lot of talking. So, yep, they raided his house as of yesterday. They actually showed footage on TMZ of them railroading into the house and, you know, hey, come out with your hands up, all that kind of extra stuff.
Basic.
It's a sight to see. I'm personally, I'm very excited. Very curious to kind of figure out where is this going to lead to. What do you think about this, Mickey? Because I mean, you a couple years older than me, so you kind of was, you know, in your teenage years or whatever when the situation happened, and you know, you kind of know a little bit better than me the impact that Pac had at that point in time.
I like how you threw my age out there though. But
I just
nah,
a couple years.
I'm just
Hey,
messing
look,
with
I was a
you.
preteen, so
Listen,
okay.
no, I mean this bring if this is really what it is, it's bringing some closure, like I told you. But I say to me, I gotta throw on my conspiracy theorist hat.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Now I watched some of them shows that you named, even Bomb First. Which what's his name? Reggie Wright.
Reggie Wright Jr.
Oh, yeah, Reggie Wright Jr. I forgot it is a senior. He kept saying something was
Senior
going to
man.
happen, but my thing is this: he even said some things, far as like when they named Biggie Killer that supposedly, I mean, that is dead. Come on now, it's something to it. It's just what did Keefe D do for them to want to give him up? That's all I'm saying. It's something, you know, when you work for them people and when your number is up, they don't need you no more. They'll let you go.
Yeah.
That's my whole thing with it. It's like it's more to it for them letting him go because whoever the people he was telling, he was the only one supposedly that was in the car when they did it. He the only one living.
You know what? That's so funny you said that. I was watching an interview. I can't even think of it. I think they call it B Hype or something like that. I've caught a couple of their interviews over the years. They were stating the same thing that you were saying. Like, how is it that he's, excuse me, the only person that's still alive that was in the automobile that, you know, supposedly did the shooting? So it's kind of like he was just basically saying if they didn't have a reason to be gone, they wouldn't be gone. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in the situation kind of is either dead or incarcerated. It just kind of
No,
makes you think like, what is the point of Keefe D still being around? You know what I'm saying?
to me, it's something they using him and something else that's going on. They trying to cover up where we can say we got Tupac Killer where the masses would be.
Satisfied.
Yeah, it's like why they doing some other devious things. It's like okay, we'll give him this because the masses already wanted him when he showed who he was. They said the streets already knew who it was. It's just me for them to throw him out. But they gave him what you said he been out since '09.
Yeah, he did the proffer agreement in 2009. Yep.
So I mean, he done did all this for them to come do this. And something he did, it's more to it for him just to get gave up. Like that's all I'm saying. Because if he the only one, you could have said the other people did it, but now you saying what he saying he did it.
No, this is the thing though. This is the one thing that he won't do for some odd reason is he won't just say, okay, Orlando is the one that pulled the gun and that. From what I was seeing over the time, he kept changing the scenario because it would be like, okay, Orlando chickened out, or at one point in time he said Orlando was the one that pulled the gun. Then he said he chickened out and somebody else grabbed the gun from him and did it. It's like over the years his story has changed a
Well,
lot.
he gonna pay for it.
You know what? My theory is just I'm not a detective or nothing like that, but just off of seeing how certain similarities in different cases go, um, he's gonna get conspiracy. Um, he's gonna get a conspiracy charge because they can't at this point in time. It's impossible for
If
them to say that he is the one that shot him.
they
But
baited him, they baited him. They baited him with the lights, camera, in action. To be
they
able to
baited.
go talk, he just been
Bravo.
quiet.
Bravo, though. So they're gonna get him for conspiracy. I know I was watching a lawyer that was on TMZ earlier today, and they're stating because of the impact of the case and how big is the snowballed over the years,
Right.
he's gonna probably end up taking a plea deal instead of going to trial because he will possibly get less time if he just took some kind of plea. Some kind of plea. He'll get less time. But this we're talking about a man that's 60 years old. So
That's what I'm trying to tell you. 72 hours is just too long.
yeah,
But when you do hey, listen, it is what it is. He's a big boy.
26 years.
Yep.
Yep. Wow. I just remember like when I was young, not really understanding what was going on, but just kind of hearing about everything. And it's just crazy, like seeing pictures of Tupac on the news today, like almost 30 years later, and everything. It just seems like it's everything is starting all over again. Like, oh yeah, we're interviewing these people, we're interviewing that person. For the most part, from over the years and hearing certain things, a lot of key players in this whole situation are gone. So it's just like, what can you gather at this point in time where, you know, just about everybody that there is that you can point a finger at is dead? Like, what are we gonna do? So yeah, basically it's just gonna be a conspiracy charge. Mark my words, y'all. And it's crazy because 3 weeks ago, if y'all go back 3 weeks ago on Club Rich, I made a statement. I said the shooting and everything is already solved. They're just waiting to piece everything together for the public. I knew of certain things a little bit from having my little sources and stuff, but you have to wait till everything pieces itself together. So, for what I'm being told, it's going to take a few months to filter through old computers and stuff that Keefe D was dumb enough to keep over the years, hard drives that he kept over the years, like you said, notes and
Who,
magazines, all the stuff.
but look what you just said. He keep notes. What gangbanger gonna keep something on the hard drive? Did you see what you just saying right there? Now they might got him. I can't see it. Now if he that crazy to be bragging about and putting it on hard drive and going and get computers. Now I mean, when it's come
I
on.
don't even think it's just necessarily him. Like, I don't think he's that smart to say certain things, but I do think that people probably were cool enough to contact him and say certain things to him. So, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? That's why I'm kind of like, I'm really eager to see what they're going to piece together. like I said, I don't think that I don't know. He might be dumb enough to say certain things because for him to do all this stuff that he's been doing with all these different. Why is this child screaming? To do all these different publications and stuff over the years is ridiculous. It's
Right.
like if I got away with murder or even was close enough, I would probably go sit down somewhere. You definitely wouldn't have seen me on Vlad. You never would have seen me on Vlad. You probably wouldn't have known what I looked like because I probably would have went and hid out somewhere and just lived the rest of my life the best way that I can. But this man, you know what else is so weird? Seen an interview within the last couple of days, and it was Reggie Wright, right? And this man stated, and he said it out loud, and it just blew my mind. He said that he gave Keefe D contact information for Vlad and Bob First and all these different places. He gave him the contact information so they could hook up so he could actually tell his story.
It's like a movie, ain't it?
And he said it too. And like I would have thought that he would have caught himself and be like, oh dang, I done snitched on myself. But no, he didn't catch it. It sounds very stupid. So like you said, Reggie Wright is probably not to be trusted, allegedly. But this is some juicy stuff, y'all. It's very exciting to watch it all unfold because really, like I said, from 2 days ago of getting the screenshot to today, it's been so many different changes in the story that's pretty awesome. Somebody definitely needs to be convicted for it. I know that we're not going to get the exact justice that we're looking for in the situation because it has been such a long time, but who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Let's go to this next subject because this is definitely what's the tea. This is so trifling to me.
Not Mr. Scrappy, is it?
Hold on. You know what? Just keep this up. So this child is advertising a divorce party. And I'm talking about like the whole shebang, been online. Okay. Anyways, for anybody that don't know who Scrappy is one of the characters on Love and Hip Hop. Yes, I said characters like he's on the actual cartoon characters. And recently, it's been announced that him and his wife Bambi, which why do y'all never say this child's real name? I know her name is not Bambi. They're getting a divorce after 3 kids, 3 little kids, because all their kids should be under like 5. So 3 small children, and they have announced that they're getting a divorce. So in the process, it's been very, very messy. The young lady Bambi has been getting into it with Scrap's 18-year-old daughter. Um, Getting into it with his mom, which she's a character also. Her name is Mama D. That's all they call her. I don't even know the child's real name. And it's just been a big, complete disaster. So, like I said, he's been having a flyer circulating online, advertising a big, huge divorce party. I don't know. Are we that tacky now that we're like having like I'm talking about like not even like you do for your birthday, you have a big party at the club and liquor and strippers, whatever the case may be. We really celebrating like divorce like that now? Is that what we doing, Mickey?
I guess. I don't, I guess they is. Maybe listen. He got tired.
I'm pretty sure she did too, because child part two of this came out last night. uh he did an interview that was actually a response to Bambi stating that Scrappy is not responsible and he does not believe his rent on time. So he responded in an interview that he did online stating that hey, paying it late is fine as long as it's paid. Now this is my question right here. I know they make way more money than I do. Way more money. Why is we still renting and for what I was told, Scrappy been on Love and Hip Hop for 12 years and she been on there for 9. We still renting? And y'all married with kids?
Sometimes you gotta understand some people they living expenses. They want to live a certain lifestyle. So instead of them not outright buying it, see, I'll give you an example. Just say you came up on $1 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most people that look if they got $1 million, they go get a $4-5 million house where they got a mortgage maybe like 20,000. That's what most people gonna do. They ain't gonna look at it like, okay, I got $1 million. Let me go get me a house, maybe a couple 100,000 or a third of your money. They gonna look at I gotta have a bit. You know what I'm saying? Where they putting themselves where they got payment like notes. Most people don't own it. I mean, I'm saying them stars, they be having notes. That's why you be hearing they lifestyle be more than what they pulling in. You know what I'm saying? So them being on TV, they probably wanted to show like, and they in Georgia too. So you would think they could have got them a nice house for like, but is they really making that type of money?
My homeboy was looking at houses with his wife, and they found a nice house, and they was living next door to what's his name, DJ Unk, the dude that made that Walk It Out song. So
Right.
my thing of it is, it's accessible to get a decent house for a decent price if you're making a decent living, which they are obviously making a decent living if they can afford the type of clothes they wear and all this kind of other stuff. And it's
It's
just
the facade.
child screw a facade. I got three kids, three little babies that I have to make sure that they have a stable life.
But it's the lifestyle though. Like they might be pulling in that, but they probably trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like Scrappy been in the game long enough where he made money where he could have been bought him a crib. But we all when you young, you make bad finance decisions and
This
stuff. So I
oh
can't knock it.
man, child, you didn't had time to get it together. You didn't had time. 12 years, and you've been on the show for 12 years. You mean to tell me by season 6 you ain't been like, you know what? I'm tired of a landlord. I'm tired of renting. I'm tired of you
But
know.
that's the thing. But that's when somebody in the relationship got to be thinking. Clearly, somebody in that relationship not thinking.
Either, neither one.
Okay, so where like you say, the woman, somebody got to be thinking like, "No, we need to buy a crib." Somebody should have said, like you said, he been on her 12, she been on there. On how long they been married?
Oh, probably only probably like about a few 4 or 5 years, maybe something like
That's what I'm saying. Somebody should have been thinking like, "Look, we're gonna stack this money up and go get a crib," instead of just. But that lets you know they want to live this lifestyle. They want to portray to the people that. Because look at them on Love and Hip Hop, and they airing each other out. But when breakups be bad, y'all can talk. A man and woman can talk about the other one like a dog.
yeah. That's why it's kind of just best to kind of keep your private stuff in the crib. But nowadays people don't really respect marriage and all that kind of stuff like they used to. Once upon a time, you didn't even know people were divorced until you see one, and then you like, dang, I ain't seen you with such and such, and then you put two and two together. People now they putting out public statements. Hey man, I'm tired of you. And I we
This
breaking up.
this this is this is the age of the Facebook
Social media.
meta.
Boom
Yeah,
boom.
social media. So everybody want to let everybody know they done.
They in the streets,
Yeah,
child. They in
they
the streets. Man,
they free.
throw, do me a favor and throw up that Damon Dash picture, cause child,
Hold on one second. Hold on one second. You
child.
set me up. You set me up with that one.
I did. I had to think about it for a second because I wanted to talk about this a little bit because you was talking about childish folks. We segue. This is definitely a good segue into this subject.
You can't dog my homie though.
Man, look, okay, music mogul Dame Dash agrees that Jay-Z was bitter he got Aaliyah. Okay, so let me dig into this. He was on this ridiculous podcast, which I can't even think of the name of it because I don't even want to give them a shout out anyways. But
It's in there.
it is.
It's on there. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Art of Dialogue. But you know what? It's some new. No, it wasn't on Art of Dialogue. Art of Dialogue was just reporting the podcast.
Got you. Got you.
Yeah,
Got
it
you.
wasn't Art of Dialogue because the people was just ridiculous. They were some idiots, and I just didn't like their line of questioning. They didn't have any respect for people that they were speaking on that are no longer here to defend themselves. And obviously, who I'm talking about is Aaliyah. So anybody that knows Aaliyah, when she passed away in 2001, she was dating Dame Dash, but it was speculation beforehand that Jay-Z was dating her prior to. So um, Dame Dash made it his mission, I guess, to confirm um everything that people were speculating over the years for whatever reason. 22, 23 years later, I don't even know what will prompt you to want to do something this stupid, but I guess.
Mm.
Um, Mickey, what the heck? I done got a doggone email from you,
Right, go ahead, go ahead.
child. This phone's slow. Anyways, so they asked him a line of questioning. This is the first interview that I've ever seen Dame Dash where he's like relaxed and he's not yelling at folks. You know, he'd go on the interview and just start scolding people like they ain't nothing, right?
Right.
So they get to the question, of course, Aaliyah questions. That's typical Damon Dash interview is going to incorporate Aaliyah. So he was kind of going through the whole phase of when he first seen her, which was back in the mid to late 90s. He wasn't feeling her, obviously, because he was an older gentleman and she was at the time 16, 17 years old. He said that she looked very, tomboyish or whatever to her. So he wasn't feeling her. Okay, so we fast forward a little bit to like, the end of the 90s going into the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
And, this is the height of Rockefeller, the height. So Aaliyah comes around, but at first Jay-Z is taking interest in her, a lot of interest. So he's stating that it got to a point that him and Jay-Z were kind of like dueling, like how Popeye and old dude Brutus was, doing all that extra stuff for olive oil. That's exactly how he said that they were
Mm-hmm.
acting. And so, one will buy her flowers, the other will buy her this, that, and the other. And I don't know. To me, it just seemed like the whole interview was really disrespectful because it was making her look like she was just a pass around. And I don't know. I don't agree with people speaking on folks while they just not here to defend themselves. I do not agree on that stuff at all. I felt like if it's been 20 some years ago since whatever you saying happened, why you can't leave it where it's at? You know what I'm saying? You're married with, newer kids and all that kind of stuff. Why would you even dwell on that stuff anymore? It's just, ugh. See, child. That's why I don't ever want to date nobody that's famous. I can't do it. I can't do it. So I know you haven't had a chance to look at this interview yet, have you?
No, I like Dame, but I like Dame. I ain't gonna like Dame, my guy, but I just, on that one, I ain't gonna mess with that because like when a person not here to defend themselves, and I ain't gonna mess with that. It is what it is. Plus, Dame got a new wife. He got kids. That's over 20 some years ago. So
Why is that even an important thing? And then this is the part of the whole story that just it brought chills to my spine, even though it's kind of like something that was already public knowledge, but it just brought chills to me. They asked the infamous R. Kelly question. And it was just like, okay, here we go with this. So basically, to paraphrase, he was just stating that the breakup of Rockefeller was basically because of Aaliyah. This is what he's implying. This is not even a made up story. This is what he's implying. It's coming from the horse's mouth. He said that when Jay-Z, Jay-Z did a joint album with Kels, like what in like 2000, 2001 maybe. It had to be in 2000 because she was still here. And he was not in agreement of that because she stated, some things that had happened with the situation with R. Kelly that just were not good. And he just basically said that even the word rape was used. Yeah.
mm,
So when
that's
they
deep.
did when they did the joint album or whatever, that's kind of where stuff started getting rocky. He said he didn't want to have anything to do with that whole album just out of respect for her. And so it got to the point where they had a riff with that. And then it pushed on to him wanting to keep doing collabs and stuff with R. Kelly. And he just wasn't for that. So it was kind of like he was at one point in time using his loyalty for Aaliyah. Jay-Z was using Dame's loyalty to Aaliyah to like kind of, I guess, use that as a reason why he don't want to be in the mix like that no more, because it's a certain move that Dame didn't want to make just out of respect for her.
Yeah, where it was business, that's how Jay was looking at it like it's money.
Yeah. Even though it definitely was not a good look, and shoot, nothing came of that situation anyway. So
Stuff happened.
yeah, but yeah, that was just the that was my segment of Girl What Tea. We're gonna have to record that and put that on the sound bit or whatever. Girl What's Tea. I like that.
No doubt, no doubt. You ain't want to do this last one. I thought it was a highly intellectual one.
One last one. Let's throw it in the
It's,
pot.
it's already up on there.
So Kyrie Irving gives 40K to she's 93-year-old woman fighting land developers who sued her after she rejected their offer to purchase her property. I like this story. This story is awesome. I actually heard of the situation with the lady maybe a year or so ago. I've heard of the story. She had the land for quite some time, and it was, dear to her heart. It was a family land anyway, so she didn't want to give it up. And if some developers came through, and you know how they want to do all the public housing and all that kind of stuff, and she refused their offer, and she wanted her land in the family, and so basically an heirloom. So he came through and gifted her that money. I don't know now. What they didn't specify is if she took that money in hopes of relocating, or if she just took it just because.
Right.
But it's been a lot of places that have been doing land development as of lately and kind of running people out of their neighborhoods in the process. Uh,
Mm. Sound kind of familiar.
Sounds very familiar, doesn't
Yes, it does.
it? And between me and y'all, the property that Beyonce and Kelly have bought in Houston, that they plan on doing some affordable housing in, it's some people that's quite upset with that move. Quite upset. Um,
Mm.
yeah. So it's some people that's not around with the noses and the Carters and all that right now. So we're gonna see how that goes. It's gonna be a while until they actually start their development. They really just still surveying and trying to figure out how they're gonna build or whatever. But I thought that was a nice story. I thought that was a nice gesture. Hopefully she just took the money and stayed in her spot though.
I hope he did too.
Yeah, just thank you for the cash. I'm staying exactly where I'm at. If it means something to you, keep it. Don't let money rule everything, because sometimes money uh, cannot fix things for you. So
Got a point there.
I'm just saying. But that was my last subject for the night, honey. I'm so glad y'all tuned in. I'm ready for a nap. And what's going on tomorrow? So Saturday we got Reverend Thorough Kill that's popping in
At 8 o'clock in the morning.
8 o'clock in the morning. Now is Melissa gonna be in tomorrow too?
Yes, ma'am. You got at 10 talking with Tanya, the councilwoman Tanya Barnes.
I can't forget her. Cannot forget her. Shout out to her.
And then you got Melissa Mays at 11.
Melissa.
Then I forgot.
Oh,
Yeah.
Saturday be hitting now.
Yeah.
Mickey, you got it together on Saturdays, don't you?
Yeah, I'm finna try to get this. I'm finna try to lock this whole 7 days up. You know what I'm talking about?
Go ahead, do your thing. Look, and y'all know me and Mickey then came up with this Sunday night nightcap and I'm feeling it. Like I done got some good reviews on it, even though my lighting was horrible. Child, I went and got me a ring light just so y'all can have the nice studio finish while I'm recording. But yeah, Sunday night recap. I can't wait. It's gonna be so much going on this weekend. I know Mott is doing like a drive-in movie situation on Friday night. So grab your kids, go up to Mott College and go see a free drive-in. Um oh my God. Doesn't the Institute of Arts do a band night or something like that outside? Either it's today or
I
yeah.
know something going on. I'm not for sure. I might be off of
So,
it.
look, y'all. By next week, I promise y'all, I'm gonna have a full list of activities that's going on in the city because for some odd reason, we always getting online asking what's there to do, especially when you have kids. And so I want to keep y'all, tuned in to the hype. So we're gonna get y'all together. We're gonna get y'all together. You want to start doing a weekly list of activities in the city to do, Mick?
You call it.
Got you. I'll work on that. Any last words before we exit out this piece?
No, just enjoy your weekend, family, and be safe. We can tap at y'all Sunday and get at y'all next week.
Please be safe, y'all. Please be safe. That's like my number one thing. Please be safe, y'all. Please be safe. There's a lot going on. Be safe, y'all. So, anyways, thank y'all for tuning in to Club Rich. Love y'all. We'll see y'all Sunday. Boop, boop, boop.
Peace.